So welcome to another video from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander, although I am behind the camera. I'm here at WBC, it's 2023. We're sitting down with Mike and Grant Wylie. You will know them from Worthington Publishing. I'm very grateful for you for taking some time out of your very busy schedules in your booth to kind of sit down with us so we can get to know you a bit better and to see what we've got coming on the horizon.
Yep.
And what running a war game publisher is like.
Hold on a second. First of all, you know, he loves Russell Crowe, and you remind me of Russell Crowe.
Well, I don't know how to take that. If you'd have said that 10 years ago,
Yeah.
I might have been, oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I meant a younger Russell Crowe. The accent sounds it, is what it is. Yes. Pretty
He's
cool.
Australian, I'm English, it's close enough.
I know, it sounds so Australian though.
Yeah, well, I've been in the US for a while, so my accent's a little bit all over the place.
Yeah.
But I'd like to just kind of give you a couple minutes to just introduce yourselves. Who are you? How did Worthington start? And where we're at in the journey of Worthington Publishing.
Do you want to do it? You want me to run?
I'll start first, and then you can chime in.
All right.
Worthington Publishing is just two guys, uncle, nephew, and we played games when we were young kids. We're not that far apart in years, but because he's the son of my older brother. But yeah, we played games growing up. All of us did. And a lot of war games we played. It was a lot of fun, and we always tinkered and had ideas of how a game could be better, that type of thing. And so Grant kept pressing me that why don't we design a game together, and we did. He predominantly took the lead on it. Victoria Cross was our first game. We took it around to a couple of publishers. We had a couple of bites. They were going to do them in a year or two, put them in the hopper, and we decided that why don't we try to publish it ourselves? And we did. We did Worthington Publishing more or less as part-time. We both had daytime jobs. Grant's a police officer. I work for the Department of Homeland Security. And so we did it kind of part-time at that point in time. Now, present, we're both retired. We've got, is it 19 years? Yeah, 19 years
yep.
since the company was started behind us. And probably about 100 games now in. And we're more or less full-time, though both of us try to work the least amount possible.
Now that's something I can get on board with. So, going back to something you talked about, playing games when you were younger.
Yes.
What are some of those quintessential memories, those favorite games of yours from back then?
Well, I just heard it recently between him and his brother. We were play testing the game, and somebody was taking forever to move, and they reminded everybody in the room, hey, that reminds me of playing games against Mike. He takes forever to move. And that was true. Of course, I won all the time. They claim it was because they fell asleep about midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I adjusted the pieces. Maybe, maybe not. And then they'd wake up. I won. But all serious, we would play some very long Axis and Allies games, Avalon Hill war games, and all of us love history, and the games were immersive to us, and so that's kind of the background. Why don't you yap some?
Yeah. I'd seen him and my dad play war games a lot, Avalon Hill. I had a friend that got a Caesar Delicia by Avalon Hill as a Christmas present. He brought it over and he didn't know what it was, and when I saw the hexes, it clicked in my memory. We played it. My dad took me out, bought War at Sea, and been playing ever since.
Oh gosh, yeah, we saw War at Sea here being played in a tournament last night, and it brought back a lot of memories because that was one of the few games we could play quickly, and we had a lot of fun with that. Yeah. And it was also an Australian designer. I think it was John Edwards that designed that game. Am I correct? I think so.
So, as a publishing house, you get to decide kind of what games make the cut and what to take. Are there things that you look for in those games that you had liked previously, or things that you particularly that spark your interest?
Yes. First is topic. Second, it's got to be simple and understandable, playable in a reasonable amount of time. Those are our three big things. There are some great companies out there, GMT, MMP, Compass, companies like that. But I think everybody's got their niche, and ours are, we try to do games 8 to 12 pages of rules max, playable 2-3 hours. I'm lead design. We each lead design on our games that we design. And on the Civil War, I had always played Richard Byrd's Great Battles of the American Civil War. Regimental level, I designed my Civil War Brigade Battle series, Antietam, Shiloh, in 7 days, as a brigade level. I wanted it playable in an evening. Probably a long evening for like Antietam and all, but yeah, those I think are our guiding principles.
One other thing we look for is how does it fit in our lineup. For instance, a game will move to the front if we're missing some ancients type of battles. So we are getting ready to republish Caesar's Gallipoli, because we do not right now have any games in our lineup. The last game we did in our lineup sold out, and we're missing that in our lineup. We're also, we're trying to diversify, because what you see in the wargame audience, they're changing all the time. Where wargamers used to traditionally like hex and counter games, and they still do. But there's a big trend now that you see going on. And again, this is back to what we're missing in our lineup and what do we have to fit in our lineup for us helping us to make choices. If you look at a lot of the games nowadays, they're political strategy games. They're not the traditional war games. And for now, we just came out with our first political strategy game, Crisis 1914, by Maurice Suckling, who's done a couple of other games for us. We moved that to the front of the line because we're missing political strategy games, and so those type of factors also come into play.
I find that very interesting, because I do feel like there was, it always seems that companies have similar types of games, or everyone has a bulge game come out at once.
Yeah.
And so I'm always curious about what the process behind all that looks like. So, changing tack a little, of the games that you've designed, which one is the one that you're the most proud of?
Oof.
Or that you like the most?
You go first.
Probably most proud of would be Victoria Cross. It was the first. It started as 54 millimeter miniatures on my dining room floor, and I broke the floor into zones, and finally my wife said it's got to go, so I moved it to cardboard, and then we started playing it back and forth, and we've had 3 printings of that, and it's done very well for us. That one. That's definitely what started it. It's still a great game. Still love playing it. So yeah.
Well, I'll speak for him and me. I would say it would be the recent game of his, Gettysburg, because with him it's Gettysburg in the morning, Gettysburg at lunch, Gettysburg in the afternoon. Hey, how about if we do some other game? No, I'm working on Gettysburg. It's Gettysburg.
Every conversation starts and ends with the Civil War Brigade series.
And it's a wonderful game, and the public loved it. And so that always makes us happy when the public loves it. And quite frankly, I thought he would well up when a gamer came up to him earlier in the conference and told him that his series, Gettysburg being the most recent one, was the game he had been waiting for all of his life. It was a big game, a grand game, but it was easy to play and easy to get through. And so he's pretty darn proud of Gettysburg too, which is the most recent game that he designed. We are a design team, but there's always a lead designer. And so you'll see, like Lennon and McCarthy, one of the guys wrote the song, really, but both of our names on every design that we do. And but one guy's always the lead. And Gettysburg's his baby now. Victoria Cross, way back when. And for me, probably the one that I'm most proud of recently is during the pandemic, we created the book games. And the book games were, we had board games we wanted to publish. The pandemic has shut down shipping. and we couldn't get games out to customers. And so we came up with an idea, because Amazon has the greatest distribution network in the world. We used their book printing capability we converted a couple of board games that I had designed, Bismarck, Waterloo, and we converted them to a book game format. And during the pandemic, the public loved them. Amazon was the only people delivering in 2 days anywhere in the world. If you're an Amazon Prime member, it came to you for free, and they were $29 or less. And so, but the design, the limitations that how do I take a board game and put that into a book that can get to somebody's door during these times, I really like that. That was like solving a Rubik's Cube type of thing.
We'll come back to those here in just a second. But before we do, of the games that you didn't design but that Worthington's put out, I'll put you on the spot, which one do you like the most?
Oh, okay.
The outside designers. I'm a big fan of Maurice Suckling, so I'd probably say Freeman or Chancellorsville. I enjoyed both of them. Being a Civil War buff, I'd probably put Chancellorsville a little bit higher above it. And the reception it's received, I think gamers have liked it. So yeah, Chancellorsville.
That one was excellent.
For me, they're, and again, some of these are styles of games. I agree with Grant. I thought Maurice came up, fellow Englishman, with a number of unique creative designs with Freeman and with Chancellorsville. I like something new. And so most recently we did a game that probably nobody would have done, because when we got it we said, I'm not sure there's enough game here. We put it on the table and started playing, and man, it was like, wow, we love this game, and I just lost the game in 10 minutes. It was Archie's War, which was, it's out of the norm, but it's fun to play, and we felt like that in some respects less was more with that. So that's been one of my more recent ones. Derek Croxton did that, and right now we're in the finishing up Rommel's War, which will take that system and bring it to another level, but still have that same thing. You only have a few moves, and combat is not solved by dice. It's who's there the most with the most, but you just don't know. And so I like those type of designs, and abstract type of designs that bring something new.
So let's come back to what we've got kind of coming out, or that's out like right now, that's the hot stuff with Worthington. What can we look forward to? What can we get our hands on right now?
Well, in war games or just games in general?
Let's start with war games.
That's a loaded question for you. There you go.
Bismarck Solitaire. It's based on one of the book games. We just took it to board form and added some extra missions to it. You got the Battle of Denmark straight, and we just got this in. Here's a copy for you, Alexander, and one for Grant as well. But we've also got Waterloo coming out based on and that should be here in the next month or two. The printer said it ships next week.
Another game that we've got coming soon to Kickstarter will be Stalin's Favorite, which is Jim Crone's series, Band of Brothers series. That one's been just, people really love that game. Yeah. Jim did a fantastic job of designing an easier to play squad level type of game set in World War II. So his next edition in the series, he just we finished Old Breed, which was the U.S. Marines in the Pacific. But Stalin's Favorite's coming next, and we're looking forward to that.
And that's another standalone title in that series.
It is, correct.
Is there going to be any battle packs for that or anything like that?
I don't think so, but his next one after that will be kind of a battle pack. It's going to be the Commonwealth, where it's your countrymen and their battles of World War II. So there'll be some new, unique stuff in that.
As you alluded to, outside of wargaming, what can you tell us?
Well, he already brought the game. So,
Next month, we're probably going to be kickstarting August 29th, Lands of the Mesozoic. It's a wingspan style game. We're branching out into Euro style games. We've done a separate company called Pungo Games, which is the name of a little area in the city we live in, Virginia Beach. And it's you're building and maintaining an ecosystem during the Mesozoic era. You've got dinosaurs. We've got over 120 dinosaur cards. Done by an award-winning paleo artist, and you're maintaining the land, the herbivores, the carnivores. You've got extinction events that occur that turn the whole game around in the middle of the game, and you've got to overcome it and try to build and sustain the greatest ecosystem of dinosaurs. Here's a copy of that for y'all.
Thank you.
But yeah, we're excited about that. We got a hockey game coming with Pungo Games that's done. We've got a boxing game coming with Pungo that's done. We're just waiting on the printer on that. A train game and a fantasy card game that was designed by a father for his 8-year-old son, which is really cool. And the dad hand drew every card. We'll probably upgrade the cards from the hand.
but I like the hand-drawn ones. They're kind of neat looking.
I think the story, was cool. Yeah. So.
But just so no one's worried, that's not going to cut into the war.
No,
games.
absolutely
We're
not.
Separate
as well,
animal,
right?
yes.
No,
Yeah.
we will never leave that base. We love the war gamers that buy our games and the strategy gamers, and we're hoping that they'll, just like a lot of war game companies, they'll diversify a little bit. We just chose that our diversification will be under a different label, but still it'll be Worthington Pungo. But no, our market is the strategy games, the war gamers, and we are so appreciative for the support we get from. It's just fabulous.
We next up in the Civil War series will be Franklin and Spring Hill, which will ship at about the same time as Gettysburg, and then I'm doing Wilderness at the brigade level, large 2-mapper. So yeah, definitely plans for like a year from now, 2 years from now. It's war games.
Yeah. I'm working on a French and Indian war game, a War of 1812 game, and also loving our diversification with some of the hockey games. The hockey game's fun because it's just this old school one. But where I spend my days and time, and he does too, predominantly on war games.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate very much for your time and sitting down with us. I hope that was enlightening and illuminating to everyone. I know you guys are busy, let you get back to it, but thank you very much to everyone for tuning in. I'm Alexander from PlayerSafe.com. Oh, I don't have Grant here.
No, you got a grant here. You got a grant here. There is a grant here.
Yeah, I was actually going to have both of you interview me, and then I was going to interview you.